going to go get wood chips. We have loaded the back of our van with buckets. We laid all our seats down. We put a tarp down so we don't ruin the floor or anything, and we're going to put wood chips in all these buckets that we get for free. And then I'm going to go put them on my garden. I've only paid once for wood chips in all of my gardening, 25 years of gardening, because you can always get them from wood chipping companies, like tree companies. The city has places where they let people dump and then they chip them up for you to use. Right now we're going to a tree slash landscaper place that has a big pile, although it's spring, so I don't know how big the pile is going to be now, but you can find wood chips pretty much anywhere if you live within a city. So that's what we do. I don't worry about bugs because they're small enough that the bugs die, and they don't get in my house. If you have termites, well, don't put them real close to your house, but we've lived in termite country and I've used them for years and never had a problem. So that's my favorite mulch, is wood chips, and that's what I use all the time. So we're gonna go get them. Okay, so we're heading over to get wood chips, and usually there's a really big pile, but it is spring and we drove by the other day and the pile was looking pretty sparse. So hopefully there will be some wood chips. I really hope so, because I love my wood chips. They're my favorite mulch of any kind. I don't like rock or anything like that. I just use wood chips. Usually I'll put a thing of manure at the bottom and then wood chips, but our truck is broken and quite frankly I just don't feel like it, so we're just going to go with the wood chips for this year. I have Mike here to help me load it up so that, yes, there's his handsome face, so I don't have to do this by myself because it is a lot of work, but we're putting it in buckets this time, so hopefully we won't have to unload it, only load it.
When we lived in Idaho, I used to stop at the border of Idaho and Washington every day and fill up the car trunk, which we had a tarp in there, and shovel it all in and shovel it out when we got home.
But that kind of made a mess because the tarp didn't always hold all of it, so we're going to try buckets this time and see if it holds better. Not sure if it's going to work, but we're going to give it a try.
The thing with the tarp is we put it in the trunk, so it didn't really matter that much, and we were able to vacuum it out. It wasn't quite like putting it in the seats.
No, but it did stick quite a bit, and there was a pain in the rear to kind of get it vacuumed out, even with the tarp. But
our van is well, the seats will go down into the floor like a cargo van, so it's kind of dirty today. It's been used for hauling auto parts and things, and so we're thinking it's a good time to make it dirty.
Yeah, because I was going to carpet clean it today anyway, so I thought, well, we'd get this done first. Yay, they still have some! Ah! Yay, I'm so excited, I'm so excited. Ah! Oh, and they're nice, too. They're really nice. We're just going to unload our buckets, and we're going to fill them with the wood chips and put them back in the van. And that's going to be it. We got all kinds of stuff. We got a bucket, I have a big pond, all kinds of good stuff. And then my galvanized buckets. So these are really fine wood chips, and we can use a shovel. A lot of times when I get wood chips, they'll be coarser, and it's a lot easier to use a pitchfork. And I want the fine ones because I want them to break down quicker, because our garden soil is really horrid. And so I'd like to put these on for at least 3 or 4 years and get them breaking down so my soil can get built up. As you can see, we have the van mostly full. We're getting ready to finish the pond liner, and we could have gotten way more buckets in here.
As you can see, we've got it full of containers. In the past, we've actually had the tarp, coming up to the edges more, and we've just completely packed it in there and filled it up. It's a little bit messier to get that out though, and since we just live a short distance from here, we figure we'll just take the containers home and unload them and come back.
So we're home now and we're getting ready to unload. I have my faithful husband here who has faithfully hauled wood chips for more than 20 years. That's a great guy, isn't it? And he even does dishes and vacuums. Okay, so we're gonna start right here. This is the part of the garden that I see out my kitchen window the most. So I'm starting here and I'm gonna work my way around. So what I do is I just put them in the buckets and then I just start dumping them all over. I have a lot of seeds in here, but I'm not gonna this year let quite as many come up. I wanna get the weeds down before the seeds. So I'm just gonna put them in between all my plants. I've got some pansies that are down here that are finally coming, but other than that, everything's just barely started getting a couple inches. So I'm gonna get it put down now so I can get the weeds stopped before they start. And I put them on really thick. I mean, a good 2 to 3 inches. Otherwise, you're gonna have weeds still coming up in between. And I just go in and find the flowers I want to keep. Dig them back out again. Now you can't do this when the flowers are, of course, huge, but when they're littler like this, it doesn't really matter. They just pop back up. Okay, so we're back for our second load. We've already unloaded everything, and we figure it's probably going to take us 5 to probably 8 loads, somewhere around there, depending on how much I decide to mulch. Some of you may be wondering, or know, that I have chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, and you may be wondering, how in the world is she doing all this? Well, I don't. My ever wonderful husband, he does most of the loading and unloading for me. I mean, I do some and I get in there and help. With fibromyalgia, you really need to exercise, and if I'm going to exercise, I'd rather do it gardening. So I do a lot of this stuff myself, but it is my exercise for the day. And I will tell you, most evenings, if I do gardening work for the day, that's all I do. I don't get anything else done, and I'm dead on the couch afterwards.
Preach it, girl.
And Mike always is bringing me an Alka-Seltzer to try and revive me, because Alka-Seltzer is the only thing that revives me. So just so you don't think that I'm lying by saying I'm really sick and then I'm doing all this stuff, I don't. I am tired and I am worn out, but I do it for the exercise. Well, we got what we're getting for today. 2 loads. I'm not feeling good. Mike's tired, so we're not going to do a whole lot more. But we're kind of figuring it's going to take about probably 5 to 8 loads to get the whole garden done. I've got about 1,800 square feet, so it's pretty big. But that's it for today. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe, like, share, and comment below.